We appreciate y'all coming to hang out with us today. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and share this content with your friends. So we picked up this cast iron sink. It was earlier in the year. Noel has asked me to build her an outdoor sink out of that. So I'm going to get started on it. So I decided I wanted to add a little bit of a unique flair to this outdoor sink for Noel. And I called up my buddy Chris last night, who owns Old Jack's Sawmill. And I said, hey Chris, have you got any cedar out there? And he sent me some pictures. And it's some beautiful, beautiful cedar. And we're on the way to Old Jack's Sawmill right now to go pick up that wood. So here is the wood we got from Old Jack's. You know, it's not perfect wood, but I wasn't looking for perfect wood. You know, it's going to be rustic. It's going to be very homemade. How about that? Today is New Year's Day, and I am working on the table. I'm trying to get it finished up. Alright, there it is with the sink. I think it's going to do a real good job. You know, I got to get a faucet for it. I got to plumb in a drain. We're just going to drain into a 5-gallon bucket or into a 3-gallon bucket. And I think it'll be great. We are making a little bit of sauerkraut out of this cabbage tonight. We figured we would show you kind of what we do. First thing we do is just cut these heads up, take the core out, and slice them as just as thin as you possibly can. Oh yeah, I love that kid. So after you get your cabbage cut up and whatever vegetables it is that you're going to put in there, you got to salt it. And what we do is 2% of whatever the weight is. We weigh it in grams, and then we put 2% of that amount in salt. And this is kosher salt. You can use kosher salt or you can use pickling salt. Do not use iodized salt. It will ruin it and you can't eat it. So salt is the next step, and that's it. It's just vegetables and salt. $56. I do not recommend at all going less than 2% because you can increase your risk of spoilage with ferments if you get below 2%. So 2.5% is good, but I don't recommend ever going below 2%. So my grandmother always made sauerkraut when we were kids, and her measurements are way different than ours. My grandmother's measurement was always for everything. It was salt to taste, and so that was for green tomato ketchup. That was for sauerkraut. It was her tomato sauce. Tomato juice, it was always salt to taste. And I've used that method before, and I have gotten it way, way, way too salty. So sprinkle some salt on it, and then you're just gonna take these tools right here, and then just start working that cabbage, and you're just squeezing it. So you're breaking the fibers and allowing that salt to start penetrating the cabbage. So squeeze it and turn it and squeeze it and turn it, and you will notice, I'll show you in just a minute, you'll notice that the water is going to start releasing out of the cabbage. Alright, so the next step is to pack it into your jar. This is a half-gallon jar. You could use quarts. I don't recommend going anything smaller than a quart. Put your cabbage mixture into the jar, and then I use a wooden spoon. I don't recommend using anything metal. Don't use metal on glass because it'll break it. And just start packing it. I mean, like, pack it hard. You want it as tight as you can get it down in the bottom of that jar. Oxygen is our enemy, and if you can eliminate the oxygen, you're in good shape. So just pack it in there. Pack it as tight as you can. Here's a brine I wanted to show you. So you can see the water is coming out of that cabbage.
Oh.
And that's what's going to protect it. Be careful not to fill your jar up too high, because we use these fermenting weights, and that's got to go. It's got to go down in there and not be above the rim. So don't fill your jar up too much, because that's got to go in there. Just be mindful as you're packing it. When it gets up this high, I just like to use my fingers just to clean the edges off and really pack it down nice and tight. Then we'll just take a piece of a cabbage leaf and we'll just slip that down in there, and that'll kind of hold everything, all those little bits and pieces under the brine. Drop your weight in, right? The goal is to make sure that that cabbage stays covered with the brine. Then we use these fermenting caps. It's just like, it's plastic or rubber or whatever, and it's got a little bitty pinhole right there in the top, and that will allow the gas to escape as fermentation happens. And when you have a jar that's this full, I definitely recommend putting this in a bowl, like set it down in a bowl like that, because the juice is going to come out when it's that full, and you just don't want that mess going everywhere. So that is how you make sauerkraut. Grow some cabbage, pick it, cut it up, put some salt on it, and stick it in the closet. We leave ours between 7 and 10 days, but it all depends on what you like. We appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us, and we hope you're encouraged to try this in your home.
If you like this video, please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. We totally appreciate it.
Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.